Hello, and welcome to this introduction to the Technical Assistance Roadmap for Standards-Based Instruction in Virginia. This is George Bailey, Specialist for Program Monitoring at the Virginia Department of Education's Office of Career, Technical, and Adult Education. In July 2014, Virginia adopted the College and Career Readiness Standards for Adult Education. And since that time, our office, along with the Virginia Adult Learning Resource Center, has been supporting a statewide effort leading to the full implementation of standards-based instruction, or SBI, in all adult education classrooms throughout the state. Today we will introduce a recent addition to a growing number of projects designed to help adult education administrators and teachers implement SBI in the classroom, the Technical Assistance Roadmap for Standards-Based Instruction in Virginia. I will now turn to Hillary Major, Instructional Standards and Communications Specialist at the Resource Center, to do that. Hillary?
Thank you, George. One of the first things we wanted to do when we got a statewide team together was to be able to really answer the question, what does it mean to fully implement standards in a program or in a classroom? We needed a common definition that can be shared with programs, teachers, and state staff. We worked to make that definition clear and practical and placed it at the start of this roadmap. Let me take a minute to read that definition. Full implementation of standards-based instruction means that all adult education programs are prepared to deliver instruction aligned to and addressing all levels of state-adopted instructional standards. Standards-based instruction demonstrates college and career readiness key advances and meets the expectations set by the core actions of the Standards in Action observation tools. Organizational leadership, policies, and practices support the conditions necessary for the effective and sustainable implementation of standards-based instruction to maximize student learning in adult education classrooms across the Commonwealth. So what we see in that definition is that it prioritizes three different areas. One of them is program design and program leadership, because supportive leadership is really foundational to having standards-based learning be effective in the classroom. The next is instruction. You can't have standards-based instruction without teachers who buy into it, who are part of the process and well-informed, and who are working to engage students actively in the classroom. And the third area is professional development. The observation tools are so important here because they help teachers and programs by both their strengths and their professional development needs. So when you read through the roadmap, you'll find links to the state-adopted standards documents for ABE, HSE, and ESOL instruction. You'll find links to the observation tools, and you'll find that the document itself is set up in a question and answer format to make it an easy reference for teachers and staff. After the opening definition, we move into the program design section. This section is most important for regional managers and also local program managers or instructional leaders. It answers questions such as, what does standards-based instruction mean for how my programs assist? What are some program practices that I can put in place as a manager to help support teachers? The next section, the instruction section, is the longest part of the roadmap. It begins with a reminder of the key shifts or advances that are central to college and career readiness instruction. Then it lists the 5 core actions of the observation tools, which are guides for teachers and observers as to what those advances look like when they're brought into an engaging classroom. The Q&A portion of the instruction section aims to give resources for teachers at different levels of experience with SBI. If I'm brand new to standards, where can I find out more? If I'm familiar with the standards, what training or supports will help me focus on really applying them in my teaching? If I'm an instructional leader in my program, how can I dive in deeply and become a true expert? You'll see information on current opportunities, as well as some news about what's in development for later in the year and in upcoming years. Finally, the roadmap talks about professional development, which ties all of the pieces together in many ways. The two themes here are a return to focus on observation. How do you use those observations to choose training that's right for your teachers and staff? And a discussion of how we can use strong practices in professional development, like professional learning communities that involve teachers sharing real examples of classroom issues and students' work, to really move ahead in implementing our vision for standards-based instruction. Last, on the back cover, the roadmap ends with quick reference links to the standards and to the SBI resources on the Resource Center website, where you can always come for more information. There's also contact information for state staff. Please feel free to call or email us. We look forward to hearing from you as we all continue on the SBI journey. Ultimately, it's all about our adult learners, and standards are our best guide to helping them develop the skills necessary for success in the 21st century. Thank you.